on the Road Show is a product of Murdock Worldwide Entertainment. Now on the Road Show, this is entertainment all up in your face.
Wash right in his fat ass and knocked him on the floor. I was angry. I said, don't mess when it's working well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Try to fix it. And that was constantly going on. But it was always outside people doing that. Warner Brothers, who never gave a damn about us. By the way, they were saying, Warner Brothers, you have a great franchise here, like Paramount had with Star Trek. Why don't you do that? Why don't you pour some more money into it? We were always on this shoestring budget. And they said, why do we need a franchise? We have Looney Tunes already. Looney Tunes. That's the range of the imagination there. They could have had really something, I feel that we went off just as the sort of mainstream American, mainstream audience was kind of discovering us. It was always a sort of a cult favorite. But once we made it, I was telling the kids in the show, I said, when we make the cover of TV Guide, don't think that an insignificant thing in those days, because I said, that's the widest subscribed magazine in the country. It's in everybody's home, TV Guide. Believe it or not. That was a more important magazine than any of those other sci-fi magazines were. That was the most important one, because that went to people that had no idea who we were. And it might have sparked them to go, I'd like to see this show, And of course, in their incredible intelligence, that's when they took us off the air. So, I still think we could have gone on. I will argue with Joe till I'm blue in the face with him. But I thought, it just didn't make sense. Could have ended that saga and continued with another one. And he created all those characters, just like Gene Roddenberry did. Huh? Come on. Anyway, I'm repeating myself. It comes when you just turn 61, you start repeating yourself.
I was just going to say thank you for giving us a little bit of that magic to look back to. And with everything that went on, it was magic.
Well, I think there's going to be Blu-ray editions. I think if there is anything to answer that other gentleman, if there's anything new in that saga, it's going to be, I think, if they're repackaging the whole thing again, because it's supposed to come out. I don't know when, though. Now, that was the only rumor I heard. Doesn't JMS still go on? Doesn't he go online? Who does it? Is he Twitter? I'm sure. Right. See, it shows up backwards. I am. But I think he's kind of giving hints like he always did. He said there was going to be something special coming along. I think that's what it is. And Warner Home Video finally realized what they had, and it was gone already. Warner Brothers, I think they had something special. They just didn't have the imagination at the time to follow through. So,
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Boxleitner, thanks again for joining us out here in the heat in Phoenix.
I love it, I do. I feel like
Fantastic. With the voice
Manzaha Doom. Again.
That was nicer voice. With the voice acting you've been doing for Tron Uprising, how different is that from the film acting we've seen you do in Battlestar Galactica? Oh, excuse me, I apologize. Awful faux pas. I am so sorry. Don't shoot.
You know that disc you were talking about earlier? Yeah.
It's stuck. Yeah, anyway.
That one fucking Tron.
Yes. It's really not a lot of difference. I mean, and I don't want to reveal because I want you all to watch it, but the story of this in Uprising is different. But you're basically alone in a booth, and everyone's looking at you through these windows. And Charlie, the director, is, say, try thinking of it this way, and try doing it maybe this way. And you do. It's just another form of acting. It's like when they had radio. I would have loved to have done radio. I think that must have been a great time. But anyway, it's the same, and then the difference is, you're not in a costume or anything like act, but Elijah and I will be across from each other, or whomever, and if Elijah isn't there, then they have one of the writers, he's there, and he's doing the other part. So you're interacting with each other, with the scripts, and but that's about it. It's still a form of acting, you know. You're acting it out there, but you're not actually running and jumping and what have you, getting into light cycle building, things like that. But it's funny to watch when you have to do fight scenes, and so they need grunting and groaning and hits like that. It sounds like somebody with bad food poisoning. You know.
Thank you very much for that.
Is that descriptive?
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest
You're
of the day.
welcome. Thank you.
Hi. I have two questions.
Yes, ma'am.
One, what was your favorite part that, from doing Tron to Tron Legacy? What was your favorite part of, between those, the differences and the similarities?
The paycheck. It's a living. I don't know that there is a difference, to answer your question. Tron Legacy, I mean, if you'd have seen the size of this, and we shot this up in Vancouver, and what was wonderful about the film is that, yes, there was a lot of CGI, but there was also a lot of practical sets, too. Flynn's, his place, his little laboratory, all dusty and cobwebbed and everything, that was built there. Flynn's arcade was entirely built out in a place called Burnaby, which it basically warehouses and these big fields and forests out there. I mean, the difference compared to being on the Disney lot in the first movie, where we ran around a lot of black sets, totally black environment, to this where they actually had sets, and then also the combination of CGI. It was phenomenal. And the size of the production was gigantic. There was a whole city built there, just our trucks and trailers and makeup trailers and so on. So the costume, and those things. It looked like a major city out there compared to the little gypsy circus we had on the first one. I mean, the making of it, I don't know how to answer that question, because it's a whole different thing. I'm in a booth when I do the animated series, and you're out on these huge, expensive sets making a movie. That's my favorite part. It's a little boy in me going, I'm in the movies, wow. Ready for my close-up CB, but I was just amazed at how they recreated, because the Flynn's Arcade is actually a building in Culver City, California, but it's so run down, and they couldn't use it, couldn't get the permits in the streets and stuff like that, so they just rebuilt that entire thing. Huh?
It's a restaurant now.
Is that right?
When I was visiting.
What do they serve there?
I don't know, I didn't go there. Just took pictures of the outside.
Really? Yeah, bums. Anyway, a restaurant. Okay, amazing. We made a beautiful recreation of it up there, interior and exterior. And so, movies, it's magic.
Yeah, and
Yes.
my second question is,
Yes.
do you still fight for the users?
I always fight for the users. What are you going to do? I have to. I'm Tron.
Hi, I have a comment and a question. The comment was, I thought your comment between the suits and the creative talent was right on the nail
Always
right on
is.
the head. Yeah.
And I've done a suit myself too, so I know both sides of this.
Well, it's always good to be multitasking. Let's see, I'm going to address you also as General Longstreet. Let's see, yeah, that's another TNT. Let's see, the 100th anniversary of the
150th,
battle.
we're in the sesquicentennial of the Civil War right now.
Yes, Battle of Picacho Peak.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Were you approached by anybody in Arizona to come out? Because they're making a big thing of that. They're going to have the governor out there and so on and so forth. I thought anybody approached you yet?
That's me.
Okay. All right. Because your name
Do
is
what? Ride on a horse there with a saber and go charge or something. What?
Yeah, that's among the Civil War reenactors. Everybody agreed to
God,
sing
it
horse
is
very
heat.
well.
It's bad enough in Virginia when we were working. That is coming out. I think Gettysburg recut and everything is out on Blu-ray now. But I'm going back in late July to a big thing for Warner Home Video again. Well, they love me. With Robert Duvall, and Stephen Lang, and Jeff Daniels, and all of them. We've got a big thing for the release of Gods and Generals on Blu-ray, and it's coming out. And it's 4 hours and 40 minutes. The movie that Ron intended to make, not what Warner Brothers released. It's 2 different movies. And, you know, for people who like those kind of historical epics, I think it's going to be much better. But I'm excited to see it, to see Duvall again. And Lang, who was so wonderful in Avatar. I thought he was my favorite part of the thing. I don't know why I relate to those guys. Bunch of blue people. No go. What the hell? Anyway. It just sort of resonated back to Sheridan again. I don't know. He was. I just kidding. Just kidding.
Well, I want to thank you for all the performances you did to entertain us.
Well, you're welcome. Listen, I've had a wonderful career. I mean, it's not over yet, but I've had a wonderful one. And you know, the idea of coming out to Phoenix and talking with all of you and meeting all of you, it's just been nothing but icing on the cake. I've been doing conventions now since first season after the first season of Babylon 5 that I was on, so I'm doing the second season, and I've enjoyed it. You know, it's not just about making money by selling pictures. It's also meeting all of you, and also, you know, it's so hard to, on film, it's different in the theater. And on film, you don't get the reaction. There's no feedback. What is the impact you're making with a role or a television series? And I personally like television more. I mean, I love being in movies, but television is where I come from. You know, that was my dream as a boy, small boy, and to be on TV. Well, I've accomplished that, but I've got more to do. If they'll only let me, you know. But that's what all this is about, because you really get to meet the people you're doing it for. You can't reach them, out of the tube.
Well, I'm sure the suits at Warner Brothers know us all personally and know what we watch. So.
Yeah, but those guys, all those people have changed since Babylon 5. There's been several different people who replaced them already. They're all gone. I mean, and I think that's what happened with Tron, to tell you the truth. Joe Kosinski, God, I heard this time and again. I was with that on that film. If I hear Michael Sheen going, I was a boy of 11, and my father and I attended our cinema in Wales, in the small town in Wales that I was raised. I was 11 years old. I'd say, shut up, will you? I don't know what word.
Rampage Fitness Academy is located at 23681 Via Linda, Suite A, in Mission Viejo, California, 92691. Call them at 949-830-7267. Cardio kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, regular boxing, yoga, or women's classes only. Rampage Fitness Academy has it all. Check them out at rampagefitnessacademy.com.